Hey everyone, happy end of May. We're getting close to the end of May here, and I would love to talk to y'all about something that is really important to me, and I want it to be very important to y'all because right now it's the end of May. Specifically, today is May the 20th, and I'm standing in the shade because it's hot. But guess what? Next week it's going to be cool. The high is in the lower 80s, and so we're still in that time period where it's not so consistently hot to where grass starts really getting stressed. And so this right here is something I really want to draw your attention to. We technically have 5 months of growing grass. 2.5 is on the front end. We have half of April, and then all of May, June, and then July, August, and half of September. But I'm just going to take off half of April and half of September so we can just simplify it and talk about it as if it was 4 months, even though technically it's 5. This chart is warm season grass yield. So this is your growth chart for when grass grows. And if you kind of notice how short of a time window we have, which is why it's so important to me and I want it to be important to y'all, we really have a short time frame here where grass grows really well. We have a short time frame when grass grows, even though you think, hey, Mississippi, we get warm winters, warm falls. We joke about Swinter all the time. But number one, let's just start at the bottom. So seasons, December 22nd is when winter starts, which is really close to December 25th. And so that's why Christmas sometimes it's warm, because we're still on that verge of fall. And sometimes the beginning of winter is more like fall, and sometimes the end of winter is more like spring, and the end of spring is more like summer, because right now we're actually technically, even though it's May 20th, we're still in the spring. We get out for school, we think, hey, summer started. Technically, agriculturally, by the calendar, June 22nd is when summer starts. This line should actually be a little bit further over. Towards the end of June is when summer starts. But if that could be in your mind, that can help you also to realize, because when we get into summer, that's when it's hot. It's so consistently hot. And so end of June is when that summer hits. That's also when the grass gets hit by the heat. So right now, these 2 months, May and June, that's what I'm trying to get to saying. May and June are the 2 months of thriving. We're almost already done with May, which is why I've kicked myself to get out here and make this video today, is say, hey, we don't have a whole lot longer for your grass in the thriving time of year. May, June, that's when grass thrives. We get plenty of moisture usually, typically. That's why black is typical. Orange is potential. So if you keep watering well, you can extend that growth into the latter part of the summertime if you water well. If you don't, you're not going to get a whole lot of growth starting around August, or if July happens to be a dry month, even in July, you're not going to get a whole lot more growth, which is really sad, because after July, you're not going to get a whole lot more growth. And so in the shade, if your grass is already getting hit by the shade, by the roots from the trees sucking up the moisture, the nutrients, the sunlight, then you add on top of that the water, it's like it's really going to be the 1-2 punch. And then this time next year, the grass is going to green up, you're going to have the bare spots and be like, hey, why is my grass not growing well in these areas? And we're going to have to, we tell a lot of people that it has a lot to do with the trees. But anyway, big take-home message. I don't want to make this longer than it needs to be. May and June, thriving. July, August, surviving. You're just trying to keep up with the water loss due to evaporation, transpiration, the grass basically moving out of the soil through the leaves into the air. That heat just sucks it out. And so July, August, it's just trying to survive. You're trying to make sure it's got enough water to where it doesn't go backwards or retreat. May and June, that's when you can not only survive, but you can help it to thrive and really take over and fill in these spots. And so that's why we just are coming to the conclusion of our fertilizer round, because we want to make sure in the month of May and June, especially June coming up, that we've given everybody a good long-term, slow-release fertilizer that in combination with that fertilizer and the water, it'll just really be able to grow. So let us know if you have any questions about that, and really pay attention to your water for this next month, and then especially for the next few months. And once we start getting toward the end of August, school starts back up, everybody gets busier. Thankfully, that's also when the grass starts to slow down. And so happy watering. Thank you for being our customer. Have a good day.